know I got the receipts, girl. You know I got the receipts.
I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to ExpressVPN, friend of the channel and protector of my online data. They are giving away 3 months free on a 1-year package to all SweetpeaDiaries viewers by using the link in the description box below. Now, this is a service that I personally use 100% of the time when I'm on the internet using my phone or computer. It allows me to bypass content restrictions while traveling and ensures all of my data is 100% private and safe wherever I connect to the internet. Using ExpressVPN also allows you to get discounts when using services like Expedia, NBA League Pass, and Netflix. ExpressVPN also has 24/7 customer support to answer any questions and support all of your needs. So take back your internet privacy today by clicking on the link in the description box below and find out how you can get 3 months free.
My drug of choice or my drugs of choice, just listen to my music, child.
I'm being Tokyo with the Kokio. No, I'm getting numb now. Don't let me come down. And I'm some good dog.
Nicki Minaj.
My drug of choice or my drugs of choice, just listen to my music, child.
I'm being Tokyo with the Kokio. No, I'm getting numb now. Don't let me come down. And I'm some good dog.
Nicki Minaj.
Hey you guys, welcome back to the Sweet Pea Diaries. It's your girl Sweet Pea and I am back with another video. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back to my channel. And if you're a new subscriber, welcome to the Sweet Pea Diaries. Be sure to like this video, share this video, but most importantly, be sure to subscribe to the channel. So you guys let me know if you can hear, if you can see. I'm sorry, but you know, I had a lot going on because it takes a lot to get this to do what it do. I might just let me know if we drag or anything because it looks like my internet is trying to do what it do, is bleeping and it's look like it might be lagging a little bit. So let me know in the chat because I'm looking over here and it looks like it's okay, but just let me know. Let me know. So can y'all see, hear, how is everything looking? Yes, so you're hearing from one only earphone because when you have your earphones in, I have to figure out the channel because I'm using a different type of mic in XLR and I got to figure out the channel for it. But if you don't use your earphones, you will not hear it in one. Of course, you will hear it all over, okay? But if you're using earphones, yes, you will only hear one out of one ear, okay? So anybody in the chat, if you are using earphones, you're only going to hear out of one ear because I have to figure out how to put it on both. It's with this, it's a channel, okay? So I got to figure that out, all right? So hopefully by the next stream, we will have that together. But yes, it is doing what it do, okay? We got the new lens, you know, I'm now, if you notice, I'm in a different angle. This is with the new lens, so I'm able to do all different type of things. We didn't get the TV yet, so I decided to do something new with the background, like move things around and try to do some things with the depth of field. Try to make myself look a little blurry a little bit in the back, give it an illusion of some depth of field. So just try to do a little something different. If you notice it, put a 1 in the chat. All right. We here to talk about this right here.
My drug of choice or my drugs of choice. Just listen to my music, child.
I'm in Tokyo with the Kokio. No, I'm getting numb now. Don't let me come down. And that's some good dog.
Nicki Minaj.
That's what we here to talk about, okay? Okay, so G12 says video has a slight lag with the sound too, but it's good. Okay, so what do you mean with the lag with the sound? Are you talking about my the words, like my mouth, like my lips? Are you saying that it's lagging as far as the way it looks like with me talking? Because if so, then I can fix the delay. So let me know that, because if that's what it is, I can fix the delay, because there is a setting with that. So if you're saying that me talking and the way it looks with me talking and the microphone, let me know, because I could fix that. Okay. But yeah, it's all trial and error. You guys have to let me know, because I see one thing, but you see something different and I'm looking at it on my phone, but it's still gonna be like a delay for me because I can't hear it. I can only see it, so just let me know, if it looks like it's a difference. It seems to be fixed. Okay. All right. Well, you see the vision, K Marie. You see the vision, girl. It's getting there. It's getting there. Okay. But we are here. Let's get into this shit. All right. Enough of this. Enough of this crap. Girl, we here. We gonna make it do what it do. Y'all, if it's not perfect, it will get to be. Okay. We here to talk about this heifer now, talking about she has a Percocet. She had a Percocet addiction. She said that she was given Percocets for menstrual cramps and she became addicted to them. And she says, this in this Vogue. So she did a cover recently with Vogue magazine because, she has the Pink Friday 2, what is it, Pink Print or Pink Friday 2, whatever, I don't know. But she has her album coming out, and don't quote me because I don't follow her. I don't know what it is. Pink Friday. I don't know, but it's her album is coming out and she's doing promotion for it. Okay. So she was in the Vogue magazine and we're going to look at the pictures, the spread. She's in it with her son. The picture disturbs me. They could have chose a better picture with her and her son. This picture really bothers me, and that's why I said I wanted to talk about this. Him being 3 and him just looking the way he's looking in this photo, it just screams like there is something wrong. Like, is he, does he have some type of delay? There's something going on, and that is not a slight or a dig or a drag or anything to Nicki Minaj, but it is obviously there is something going on here. So, she says on the Vogue that, she had addiction. She had addiction issues with Percocets. And a lot of people are saying, girl, it wasn't just Percocets. It was more than that, okay? It was the cocaine and all of this, allegedly, that it was that. And they said, girl, the way you used to act and the way you eat, what it was given, it wasn't given perks. It was given, snow and skiing on the snow slopes. And then that little TikTok that you just seen me play, in that clip, she has said, if you want to know what my choice of, refreshments are, just listen to my music. And so then, then they put the clip with, what she said. And so people are saying that she's being picky and, being choosy in what she wanted to expose. And they said, girl, if you're going to come out with it and you're going to expose your tea, expose it all. Don't be trying to be slick and just say the perks, because see, that's supposed to be acceptable, because everybody do perks, so that's supposed to be acceptable. So she didn't want to say the cocaine. This is what the people are saying. All right. So she says, she was no different, with this addiction. She felt like she was no different than her father, Robert, because, back in the day, he had an addiction to crack cocaine. Now, take a look at this clip. This is from the documentary that I did on Nicki Minaj. If you go and check that video out, it is my latest documentary. It's an expose that we did on Nicki Minaj. Check this clip out.
This is my old house. When we had hard times, my mother had to rent out her house, and we all four had to move in the basement, which it was a studio apartment. Studio basement for 4 people. And we just used to have to walk by and see another family living beautifully in the main house, and we had to walk in the backyard and go downstairs in our basement. And, gotta do what you gotta do. This house was the house that my father burned down. Me and my brother, we were at a neighbor's house spending the night that night. They came and said, your house is burning down. I just remember running, racing down, and I remember when I got here, I just saw a big commotion, and I was so scared I didn't know what happened, but everybody was running over here, and I just looked. My house was gone. The house was gone. All of my toys, all my clothes, all of my memories. I had a lot of hard times in that neighborhood, but I came through.
Now, the people don't have a problem with the fact that, she is admitting and she's saying, listen, our country is experiencing opioid crisis. We are in the depths of hell when it comes to this crisis with heroin, and now they got the fetty, the fentanyl, the trank, and all this stuff in these drugs. And our country is experiencing a crisis with opioids because there was an overprescribing of this drug, of the Percocets, oxycodone, oxycontins, all of this. When that shit hit the scene, people were getting it just for minor things. Dentists, dentistry, like her, menstrual cramps, having a minor pain, the doctors were prescribing narcotics, heavy narcotics. And they used to, when the Oxycontin came out, they were really heavily pumping that, like promoting it, having commercials about it. And it was like this miracle drug, this miracle pain drug, this wonder pain drug. But they neglected to talk about the addiction. The side effect is a major addiction. And so a lot of people found themselves hooked on the pills, hooked on drugs, because once they can't get the pills anymore, now they're on harder street drugs because it's cheaper. And now they could be cut off from the prescription. So they go hit the streets. So our country has faced a lot of problems when it comes to Percocets, oxycodones, just pills in general. When people are having anxiety, suffering from anxiety, or they can't sleep, or they have mood issues, the doctors are prescribing Xanax, volumes, things that are heavily addictive, So she says she got on them for menstrual cramps. The doctor gave her them because she had, now I know my cramps, last night I had cramps. I had to postpone my live. Today, I had an issue most of the day, but then towards I started to feel better. I was able to go out and do the yard and clean a little bit and whatever. But I understand how, with the heavy flow and cramps and all that, I understand that. But to take a Percocet, to be taking something that strong for cramps, and then if you start to take them when you don't need them and stuff like that, you will become addicted to it because it is a narcotic. You take that shit 3 or 4 days. It's something you take 3 to 4 days a week. You're gonna develop an addiction. You're gonna develop a bodily craving for it. You're gonna get withdrawals if you don't take it. So yeah, it's easily to get addicted to pills. Now, Nicki Minaj, girl, they saying that you lying, all right? And they are talking about this lawsuit that you have against a certain blogger that you sued her for the comments that she made. However, now you are saying that you have a problem or had a problem. And really, once an addict, always an addict. She said that as well, okay? And so how you going to be suing somebody? How you going to have these lawsuits when you just now saying, and this ain't the first time. This is not the first time that she admitted to being on Percocets. I believe that this is popping back up, coming back up because of the album. She's trying to generate buzz, trying to, be in the blogs because she's promoting her album. So she was subtly throwing it out there, but purposely. You feel me? Because how you are in a lawsuit, all right? You filed a lawsuit against someone for allegations of drug use, but then you just casually slip that in there in a Vogue interview. No, I'm not buying it. Purposely done. She's already admitted it before, but she was very strategic not to use the cocaine word, okay? She wants to put it just on the perks because that's more socially acceptable. That's okay. It's prescription white woman drugs. You know what I'm saying? They get on the Zoloft's, the Xanax, the Valiums. We have to take Percocets because we're in pain. So these are the little acceptable drugs. Now, if she had to start saying the C and all that, then she probably think people would be looking sideways. So it's very strategic. People like, girl, if you're going to talk, tell the truth. Don't be trying to just pick and choose what you got to say. Okay. Now let's get into this article. Okay. I'm going to read it. Let's read the Vogue spread and let's get into it. All right. Let me get this. Okay, let's see. Now, this is the Vogue cover. The Art of Being Nicki Minaj. On an evening in late August, just as Donald Trump is getting booked on 13 felony charges at the Fulton County Jail in Atlanta, a sherbet sunset in the western sky casts Santa Monica Boulevard in a Nicki Minaj pink blush. But Minaj has no time on this day for politics, nor for the soft summer tints gathering outside the windowless sound booth of a Los Angeles recording studio. She's under pressure to hand over a mastered version of Last Time I Saw You, a teaser release from her upcoming 5th studio album, and she is nitpicking. The verses sounded a bit muffled to her ear, so the team sent the track to a mixer who brightened up the whole thing. But now it's ping-y and radio-ish. But now it's pingy and radio-ish, she feels, and she swears she hears an ever so slight buzz underneath the beat, though no one else is picking up on it. A scholar of her genre and a rigorous wordsmith, she's also a painstaking listener of her own music. She combs through her recordings, rewrites verses, changes up her tone, adds drums, subtracts them. There were 27 versions of Anaconda, her 2014 hit, before she blessed the single. She presses her engineers to punch up certain words and ensure that every syllable of her raps is clear and comprehensible. Nicki Minaj wants to be understood. I'm a bit particular, she concedes. Sometimes things that the best engineer in the world wouldn't hear, I hear. And you know what? I'm always right. Now, she's in this suit. It's some type of oversized thing. I don't like that at all. Nope, not giving. I don't like that. No, ma'am. I don't like that. It looks like some type of flea market suit just thrown. And I know it's designer. I know it is probably tailor made or some type of designer. Honey, because says Nicki Minaj wears a Marc Jacobs blazer and pants Tony Birch earrings. I don't like that Marc Jacobs. It was something, y'all could have put her in something else. I don't like it. Last Time I Saw You is a strikingly melancholic track for an artist for whom bombast and humor have been the most conspicuous modes. It's a song about losing someone, a rare layover in the irony-free zone that her fans will remember from Moment for Life, the breakout love song from 2010's Pink Friday, her debut studio album. So the hook is, she starts singing softly, her eyes closed. I wish I'd have hugged you tighter the last time I saw you. I wish I didn't waste precious time the night when I called you. I wish I remembered to say I'd do anything for you. Maybe I pushed you away because I thought that I'd bore you. Here is a song steeped in two new, rather adult flavors, regret and uncertainty. It's a song about guilt, she explains, and I don't think people make a lot of music about the experience of guilt. But if you talk to any human being on earth about it, they would know exactly what you mean, that I wish I had feeling. Once I wrote the hook, I started to think of people that I love and see every day and still take for granted. You know what I'm saying? So I hope the song does a good thing. It's like, remember how you wish you could have? Well, you can't. You can't go back in time. So try to make sure you have different experiences with people that you love. All the grudges, even just being busy and caught up, like when you're chasing and working and being an adult. She pauses and her eyes spin slightly upward, as they often do when she's considering the best way to explain herself. I'm not saying I want this to be a sad song. Actually, I want people to feel happy when they hear it. Happy sad. Then again, look at Adele. That woman has made me cry a million times, yet I want more. Is this the same Nicki Minaj who has so often come in guns blazing, whose catalog of beefs has sometimes cast a lurid shadow over her musical bona fides? Is this the same Nicki Minaj who stormed into the mainstream more than a decade ago with a verse promising to eat your brains? Swagger is an essential surface effect in hip-hop, and Minaj, the best-selling female rapper of all time, has worn her crown with its special pomp. Consider the title of her last album, 2018's Queen. As a rapper, she's never allowed for the possibility of a boys' club, her sexual candor emboldening a generation of women rappers to talk about their body parts with the same vulgar glee as their male peers. Nicki Minaj, as the Barbs, her fierce fan army know well, contains multitudes, and it would be facile to suggest that the 40-year-old rapper who gave birth to a son amid the isolative unease of the pandemic has retired that old pug list. She had to fight for everything growing up, for her father's attention, for her mother's approval, for material comforts, for the feeling of safety inside the four walls of her home, but also in her adopted home country. Pink Friday 2, her new album out in December, was written from the vantage point of a woman who has gotten so many of the things she dreamed about, and yet the past still tugs. The new album asserts in its very title the wish to return to the days when she wrote every track top to bottom and laid her verses over rhythms she plucked off the beat CDs that you could buy on Sutphin Boulevard in Queens. In hip-hop, when you're as famous as Minaj became after Pink Friday, the other rappers and producers assemble like magic, bearing beats and choruses. Just add a verse and call it your own. And make no mistake, Minaj has never recorded a rap that she did not write. When I look back at a lot of my music, I'm like, oh my God, where was the me in it, she says. So for this album, I went back to the old game plan. All right, this is another photo. This is her, and I guess these are, I guess this is like a bodysuit or panties with a top. I don't know. I don't know what Vogue be doing, child. I know they be trying to be fashion and all about fashion, but honey, this is ugly. I mean, no, I don't like that. Okay, it is a Ferragamo sweater, briefs and earrings, and Calazonia tights. Child, I don't know. She said, I had adult burdens way too early. She was grown too fast, too soon. Child, we all knew that. I heard a lot about as far as, what she was doing back in the day to get in the game and stuff like that. Aubrey Big Juice Delaney, Minaj's longtime mix engineer, seasoned artist, more in control of all aspects of the creative process. The lyrics and melodies feel different somehow, even while they build on the DNA of the records that came before. Imagine a Nicki Minaj greatest hits album, but all the songs are new, he says. More than in the method of music making, Minaj has been interested in tapping into what she recognizes as a hopefulness that lit up the original Pink Friday, a sensibility that somehow got muddled by the pressures of stardom and the presence of so many cooks with their hands in the sonic stew. She was pleased recently to see a retweet of something that Kim Kardashian posted years ago when the first album was released. It was a line from I'm the Best, the intro track to Pink Friday that went, I'm fighting for the girls who never thought they could win. The idea that saying something like that could give hope to people, that optimistic outlook is something that I think I got away from, Minaj explains. So she said the idea that saying something like that could give hope to people, that optimistic outlook is something that I think I got away from. And I would say that, I think that she may have gotten away from her roots. She got more into beefing, as you got cocky, you making money, you know what I'm saying? You flying all over the place. You people are worshiping you. She got cocky, and then you couple in drugs and that sense of entitlement. Child, yeah, she turned into something else. Then she had Roman. She had all these different personalities. She definitely did turn into someone else. Fame, success, money, motherhood, the crosswords of middle age. These things may make life complicated, but Minaj would like to be clear that they cannot compare to the challenges she faced before Pink Friday. The 3 years leading up to her breakout album, where she believes they were the most stressful in her life. Not knowing if you're going to be broke, not knowing if you're going to be a failure, she says. There's nothing more complicated than that. Child, what are these looks? Ooh. The sound booth is dark, candlelit, bathed in pinkish light. It's the vibe Minaj favors for long sessions in the studio. She wears a sheer pink shirt crawling with sequined Chanel logos, blue jeans, and pink Chanel tweed sandals, a Chanel purse with pink PVC windows, a souvenir from the video for Barbie World, sits beside her. Her pink nails with little rhinestone icebergs congregating at the cuticles are so long that she uses the knuckle of her right thumb to compose text messages. Minaj has a reputation for being protective, even prickly, around journalists, but in fact, she is warm, relaxed, open, and reflective. I think a lot of creators will understand this, she ventures. There's a freeness that you have around you when you're at your best, when you're doing your thing at your peak. There's like this lightness in the air. You're happy even if you're writing a sad song. But once you start knowing that you're being judged, there's no longer that free spirit. People who excel at something make it look easy, but they also deal with a lot of fear of letting people down and letting themselves down. Once you make it, it's like anything you say can be used against you. It's like when you get arrested. That's literally what being famous feels like. You go from having this fun, curious nature, laughing and joking, to realizing not everyone gets your sense of humor. Not everyone likes you, and they will figure out how to put a negative spin on anything you do. It hurts. Now, the gag is, for me, I hear her and I feel that, but she is the biggest bully of them all. Whenever someone has something to say about her, she's ready to dox them. She's ready to put the barbs on them, sick the barbs on them, have people chasing people all over the internet. So, girl, come on now. Now, I know you're getting older and like they said, motherhood and middle age and everything, but girl, you can't turn over a new leaf without turning over a new leaf. She in this Vogue, they're trying to turn over a new leaf, but still acting the same way. Now, in September of 2019, Minaj posted a tweet that seemed to convey the toll of her success, suggesting that she had had it with the industry and with her detractors. I've decided to retire and have my family. I know you guys are happy now. The barbs momentarily betrayed, went into a frenzy, and the tweet disappeared. But it was obvious that she had soured for a time on the business of music. That same year, surprising fans who may have expected one of her rumored liaisons with rappers Drake, Eminem to prove true, she married Kenneth Petty, a high school flame with a checkered past who had grown up a few blocks from her in Queens and was part of a big group of teenagers who gathered at the same pizza place after school. Oh, I got to look at y'all on this one. Is she out of her mother mind? The same group, a part of a gang, okay? Part of a group of teenagers who gathered around the local pizza place. A checkered past. Checkered is an understatement, and it wasn't no group of teenagers gathering at the local pizzeria. Girl, stop, girl. He was a neighborhood bum. He was the damn, a goddamn a rapist, okay? He raped a damn girl from your goddamn neighborhood. Okay? That's who he is. He wasn't no boy that you was just hanging out at, like this is the guy, like it's Grease or something. Like this is some goddamn Clueless movie, or you know what I'm saying, Saved by the Bell. No, girl. Y'all was in a goddamn ghetto and he was a goddamn ghetto. He was a little drug dealer, gang toting, thuggish ass little boy. He was not no damn boy that just fra la 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 la, we meeting at the pizza parlor. Girl, stop it, girl. No, you're not about to play in our face like that. No. Okay. So they said he was a high school flame with a checkered past who grown up a few blocks from her in Queens and was part of a big group of teenagers who gathered at the same pizza place after school. He didn't even go to school. He has always only called her Onika. Nicki was born Onika Tanya Mirage in Trinidad, and Minaj was a stage name that was pushed by her manager to adopt that name. He was importantly unimpressed by the hard, dazzling shell of her fame, and he offered a tether to the old days. So she's saying, when she came up on Kenny, it made her think about the past, think about them old days. He wasn't thinking about her fame. He wasn't pressed about her money. He didn't care nothing about the money, okay? No. He didn't care nothing about the money. Kenny didn't care nothing about the money. He didn't care nothing about the fame. It brought back memories. Somebody from her past. Exactly. You ain't got somebody from your past to be your muscle. Yes, to be the muscle behind the Minaj. That's what she went and did. We ain't got somebody that didn't have shit that she can, drag along, tag along, because she want to be in control. She didn't want a man to be equally yoked with. She wanted someone that can be, bedazzled by her fame and want to do anything to be in that fame and in that limelight and in that money. She went and got him and his gang member friends so that she can join a gang at 40 years old. That's what she did. Excuse me, you guys. I had to sneeze. I had to put you guys on mute. I had to sneeze. All right. So let's continue. Because I've known my husband for so long, there's an ease we have with each other, she explains. We make each other laugh. We're silly. And we're always reminiscing about some old story. If it was a guy that I met as Nicki Minaj, I think I'd feel like they like me because I'm Nicki Minaj. And what if I don't look like Nicki Minaj every day? And that combined with pregnancy would probably have made me crazy. Marriage and motherhood promise to be escapes after all from Nicki Minaj, the brand. I think that deep down inside, I believe that once I had a family, I would just lose the desire to make music, she says. I would always tell people, watch, when I have a child, I'm going to cook every meal for him and bake cookies every day. Maybe subconsciously, I hope my focus would just be on being a mother. And I looked forward to that idea. It felt like a relief. But what happens is that you find out you have to work. Yes, you find out you got to work because that man ain't got no goddamn job. You find out quickly that you got to work. You find out that very quickly that you got to work because Kenneth Petty ain't got no damn job. You are the breadwinner. You got to provide. He ain't got no money. He ain't trying to do shit. And you pregnant now. You got a baby. And then on top of that, she goes and gets married. That's my thing. I hope the girl got a prenup, honey. Because if she ain't got no prenup, honey, he can go ahead and decide to divorce her whenever he want and get half of that, okay? Let's continue. Now, I'm looking at this photo. Now, this is the photo that this has really bothered me right here, okay? Now, this little boy he's cute, he's really he's a cute child. But the way he his mouth right here, like there's just certain mannerisms and there's just certain ways that children that are delayed or they may have, some type of, Asperger's, autism, some type of delay, some type of, mental situation going on, disability is the word I'm looking for, some type of mental challenge. It could be challenge, disability, or whatever. Even on the spectrum, that it's just he has that look, just the way he, holds his mouth, and you just like the way he speaks, and I haven't really heard him say any words. So when I look at this picture, I was like, wow, why would she choose this photo? Like, I see the look that they was going for, but he just wasn't capable of giving that look because you can just see it's just written. I mean, it's written all over his face right here in this photo. Just tells me everything I need to know. Like, okay, this little boy, he's 3 years old. I haven't heard him say any sentences. I haven't heard him talk. Every time she talks to him, it's she don't talk in whole, sentences. He's 3. He's going into 4. That's preschool age. I could have swore when she was trying to hold him down that time, that little clip we saw, he had on either a pull-up or a diaper or something like that. I'm like, he's 3. He should be potty trained. He should be having on underwear, and saying that he got to go to the bathroom. So, I don't know. But with her now saying that she had this problem with pills, I'm wondering, when you were pregnant, were you taking the pills? Did you stop taking the pills? Because sometimes when, mothers are pregnant and they're carrying and they're taking other types of drugs and things that aren't, that you shouldn't be taking, they're not prenatal vitamins, or you're taking narcotics, your child can be affected by that. They can come out with issues. So I'm just wondering, what is it really giving? Like, you said that you had this addiction. And I know she was trying to say she recently got clean. So that would tell me that maybe you used while you were pregnant. Because if you just recently stopped, then what were you doing while you were pregnant, or right before you realized you were pregnant? A lot of times people be partying and getting high and drinking and drugging in their first trimester and don't even know that they're pregnant, so, and it could have long lasting effects on the child, on the baby. So I am not trying to in any way, shape, or form be funny about that, or, be sarcastic or anything about that. I'm really serious. Like, because I'm looking at this little boy and I'm looking at this photo, I'm looking at this, and to me, it just screams that, there is some type of delay going on. I'm sorry. It does. And when people say, oh, he's 3, and this is just a picture. How can you see all that from a picture? And what do you expect him to be saying? Long paragraphs and all of this. He's not saying, I haven't heard him say one sentence. I haven't heard him say, mommy, dad, daddy, making sounds. I haven't heard him say any words. If anything, we always hear her. Is that the boy? Is that the baby? That's what we hear. We don't hear him say anything. So I don't know if she could be, she's probably embarrassed, which is not the position to have. Because of the way she is, she would take me for being embarrassed. And now he would suffer because she doesn't want to admit what she sees or what anyone else would see. Some parents will do that, especially people like her with money. They would want their child to be perfect. Oh no, I'm Nicki Minaj. My son can't have Asperger's, or my son can't have autism. No, there's no way, because I'm Nicki Minaj. I'm a millionaire. I'm this female rapper and that female rapper. And meanwhile, the child is going to suffer because he's not going to get the help that he needs in order to develop healthy if he does have a disability. Because if he does have a disability and there is something challenging going on, he would need professionals. Instead of sitting around and going traveling and going on video shoots and Vogues and all this, because this picture is not it. This picture is not it. Like the way he carries his mouth, the way he always has his mouth like that with, his tongue, and it just looks like he has some type of disability or is delayed. And I would want the baby to get help. I would want her to, lay down the pride and lay down the shame and guilt. Some people feel shame and guilt. They take it like it's their fault when a child has a disability, as if it's something. Now, if you were taking pills and you was doing some, things that you weren't supposed to be doing, then yeah, it would be your fault. Definitely would be. So that's the question I got. Girl, was you getting high while you were pregnant? That's what I'd like to know. Because Percocets and Oxycontins and all that, that's not good. That's an opiate. He can, and children can be born with, addicted to that. And then they in withdrawal when they come out the womb, and they have to be treated with certain medicines so that they can, handle that. So, I'm looking at this and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I don't like that photo. They could have picked any. I mean, why not have him with his eyes open playing? Now, I was trying to find the picture with her, Kenny, and him, because it was rumored, for me, people were telling me that the 3 of them were in this Vogue spread. And I didn't see that anywhere. Okay? I did not see him, her, and the baby anywhere in this spread. So I don't know if maybe it's on the physical copy. But that was a problem that I had as well. Because I was like, how in the world can a conglomerate like Vogue have a convicted sex offender in their magazine, let alone on a cover, let alone, in the centerfold? I mean, how could they even put someone like that in the magazine? Now, I know that's her husband, even just like the way they tried to soften the blow. We know that he got a goddamn case and a lawsuit with Jennifer Huff. She is suing him, was suing Nicki Minaj for harassment, trying to get the girl to recant her story. They're harassing her. He violated her, as kids, as a teenager. He continues to terrorize her, continues to have his cohorts terrorize her, continues to have the Barbs terrorize her. The dude cuckoo, I'm cuckoo, he DM me, Offset DM me. Have all these people. We seen that, Kenny had to sit down for 120 days threatening Offset. So we see how he acts around his friends. So you really want to tell me that they wasn't harassing Jen? You feel me? So they tried to soften this blow in this magazine and make it like it's just this innocent puppy love, and it goes back decades, and now they finally found each other again. No, they got a lot of shit with them. They got their hands in a lot of shit. They're threatening people, trying to throw their weight around. Look what they did to Redbone. Okay? So I'm not buying that. It ain't no, childhood fling and met the nigga at the pizzeria. Girl, stop. Okay? Stop it. So I'm like, where is this photo? I'm looking for it. So if anybody can find it, please drop it in my DM, because I definitely would probably make a post on Twitter or Instagram or something and tag them. Like, I know good and goddamn well y'all don't have no convicted sex offender, murderer, can't leave that out, murderer in your goddamn magazine spread. Okay, I don't give a damn if he's Nicki Minaj's husband, if he's the Queen of England's husband. Okay? He shouldn't be. He's a registered offender. He has to register when he moves and he goes places. He can't even be around children. He can't go to schools, can't be in within many yards of a school, of a playground, of a park, anywhere where there's kids. And you're going to have this man in your goddamn magazine because he's Nicki Minaj's husband? Drop me the photo, honey. I couldn't find it. So I'm like, well, maybe they didn't, maybe they just mentioned him in the article, but they didn't actually, show pictures of them. So let's just get back into this article, child. All right. So yeah, I'm not feeling that picture. Minaj has not publicly revealed the name of her son, whom she prefers to call Papa Bear. She and Petty navigated his infancy with no help whatsoever, save for an occasional brief visit from a grandparent. She never felt so exhausted in her life, even on her 3 world tours. She remembers the atmosphere of commiseration that pervaded her marriage at the time. I'm not going to lie, things got testy between us, she recalls. Because of our history, I think we knew we'd get past it. But there's no such thing as confidence in parenthood. I kind of wish that someone had told me, although I'm sure I wouldn't have been able to understand it, that there's a level of anxiety and you think it's going to go away, but in fact, it gets scarier. So often you think, I don't know how to do this. At times, the public-facing Minaj has seemed like a landmine of emotions ready to detonate all over the Twitterverse. Motherhood has tested her patience, and she finds that she is passing. She tells me a story about meeting a woman who thought of herself as the world's best homemaker. Her house was immaculate. The food was perfect. The children had no hair out of place. But little by little, the woman noticed that her self-esteem derived solely from her children's accomplishments or from a sense of superiority to other mothers. She started to feel guilty about not working, and defying a chorus of skeptics, she put herself through nursing school. And then as a nurse, she started to feel guilty for working, for missing precious moments in her children's lives. I was like, oh my effing God, Minaj recalls. She felt guilt when she was doing the perfect homemaker thing, and guilt as a working mom when she missed a moment in their lives. Maybe God let that lady say that to me because it made me think, well, if I'm going to have mom guilt regardless, I might as well continue doing the only thing I know how to do, and that's make music. It is well known that Minaj had a difficult childhood. When she was 3 years old, her parents left Trinidad for New York, leaving her under the care of a grandmother in a house crowded with aunts, uncles, and cousins. 2 years later, settled in South Jamaica, Queens, her parents collected her and her older brother. The family was poor, and she felt it keenly. You figure out the value of money when you come from a different country, and then you don't have what the other kids have, she recalls. Children know a lot more than you think regarding poverty. She remembers a time in 4th grade when every girl suddenly had a certain pair of $50 Fila boots. A girl I considered a friend of mine in front of all these people looks at me and says, "You think your mother could afford that?" When you hear things like that, you put them somewhere in your subconscious and you make yourself a promise. And I can see what's coming now. When somebody say some shit like that to you, you make yourself a promise that when you grow up, you gonna get rich and ain't nobody gonna ever tell you that shit again, child. Cliche. So cliche. Minaj, who grew up attending a Pentecostal church with her mother, remembers a prayer that she delivered as a young child, one of her earliest memories. She believes that she was just 5 years old, months after she had moved to the U.S. Her mother had embraced the prevailing soap operas of the day. Days of Our Lives was flickering through the static of her parents' bedroom television, though no parents were around. She remembers understanding that the show was being acted, that people like her who enjoy pretending and being silly were playing the parts, and that maybe she could play a part and change her life. She got down on her knees and said, "God, please make me rich so I can buy my mother another house and take care of my family." In the 1980s, crack cocaine ravaged families, especially black families across America's big cities. Minaj's late father moved from weed to adding crack to his weed and then to crack on its own. He drank a lot and was sometimes violent, once setting his own house ablaze with his wife inside. Minaj feels that her mother never understood his addiction at a time when drug users was experiencing peak Reagan-era stigma. "I think about watching my father go back and forth, and I just wish that at the time I understood that he wasn't doing it because he wanted to," she says. "I thought that he was making a conscious effort to be addicted to a drug that would have him steal his children's video games and sell them for money. Think about that. Who would make a conscious effort to do that? Now I realize those people weren't making those choices because they wanted to hurt their family. Addiction took over their bodies and their lives. They were victims too." By the time she was 11, possessed of that special confidence that sometimes bubbles up from chaos, Minaj felt that she could run the house better than the grown-ups. "I had adult burdens way too early," she recalls, "but I had tunnel fucking vision." She knew she wanted to be an actress and attended the LaGuardia Performing Arts High School. She remembers feeling so impatient to get out of there and audition, certain that she would be a success. "I literally told everyone that by the time I turned 19, I would be just as famous as Halle Berry and Jada Pinkett, and no one could tell me any different. So when I went to auditions and didn't get parts, I was shocked. I would sit by the phone thinking, I know they're going to call. Everybody's going to love me and see how great I am. I didn't get not one call back, but at the same time, I was like, F this shit, I need money." She waited tables, famously getting fired from the 3 separate Red Lobsters for discourteous treatment of customers. "No, girl, you knock somebody upside the head, girl. You beat somebody up, girl. You bust them upside the head with a glass. No, girl. That's not it. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You bust somebody upside the head with a goddamn glass, girl. Okay? And you was wanted for attempted murder. Okay? Again, here we go with the little, it wasn't nothing. No, girl, you knocked somebody upside the head. Okay, girl? That's what you did. You knocked somebody upside the head with a glass. That's what you did. Woo. Oh, gosh. So she says she waited tables. Okay, she got fired. And she began writing raps and performing with local musicians. In her early 20s, she was uploading those performances to MySpace, which got her some attention from industry executives. This led to a collaboration with the rapper Lil Wayne, who worked with her on several mixtapes, essentially homemade albums that she used to sell out of a little white BMW that she had saved up for. She became a sensation to the underground hip-hop world, and in 2009, Wayne signed her to his label, Young Money, with the original Pink Friday a year later. she became a star. Now, let's just stop right there, okay? Now, this little white BMW that she had and meeting, and being on MySpace and all of that, we ain't even talked about Lou Star and them, 7-Up and them, bow-legged Lou and them. That's what happened up in there, girl. Wasn't no Lil Wayne, it didn't just happen like that, girl. You was around with the Lou Star and them, and you was messing with everybody. That they said that you had messed with bow-legged Lou, honey, and they said that baby that you claimed that you got rid of, that was Aaron's baby, honey, they said that was bow-legged Lou. Okay, honey, I got the tea, girl. They had dropped in my DMs and said that this older man that you claim to have been in love with, that you had that goddamn abortion by, honey, they said that was bow-legged Lou Star's daddy. They said that he was the one that brought you to that group, that he was the one that introduced you to his son, Lou Star. Okay, because he was looking around wanting to have a girl in they group with him and 7-Up, and then they bought on Nicki Minaj because the daddy bought Nicki Minaj over there, and he said Nicki hopped out of the little white BMW. Okay, and he said he remembered she looked the part, act the part. He was wondering how she had the BMW. It was a lot of accusations back in the day that Nicki Minaj was doing a little something, a little strange for a piece of change around there. Okay, that she was having all types of little sugar daddies, and she was a little sugar baby. Okay, that's what the people said. She was a sugar baby. That's how she was getting the studio time and everything. That's what she said. They said that's what she was around there doing. With the full forces, with the goddamn bow-legged Lou's daddy. I mean, with Lou Star's daddy, bow-legged Lou, honey. I'm telling you, that's what the people said. All right, that's what they had done told me. Okay, allegedly, but that's what the people said. Yeah. All right, so this is another photo of her. I don't know what they put her in. I don't know what this look is with this hair. I guess it's supposed to be the wet look or something, sleek and everything, but I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like anything that they put her in. I just don't. I think it just, on a regular day, Tay and them do better than this shit, and this supposed to be Vogue. I'm not feeling it. Now, I know she did have a breast reduction, I think they said. Looks like she's done slimmed down a lot. I think, she was getting tired of being made fun of when she was doing them performances, and she was all winded and looking big and fat and out of shape. And it looks like, now she done went and got it all sucked out or removed or whatever, because, honey, she didn't look like she lost a lot of weight. Now, she says Minaj never went in for partying. And because of her father's difficulties as a very young woman, she was apt to wag a finger at her girlfriends for smoking marijuana. They used to tease her in turn at nightclubs for nursing a single cocktail and swearing that she was drunk. But she takes care to say that she does not place herself above her old friends. I feel like I will always consider myself to be just like my father, she says. Years ago, while briefly living in Atlanta to advance her music career, she was prescribed Percocet for painful menstrual cramping. It was enormously helpful until she found that she was taking the medication even when she wasn't in pain. No one told me that this was a narcotic and this was addictive. Luckily, I was able to ground myself. But once an addict, always an addict. I feel like if you've ever experienced addiction to anything, which I have, you always have to think twice and 3 times about the choices that you make. She believes that the risk of substance abuse is especially high among those who live under a microscope. Look at some of our biggest celebrities. They eventually either get laughed out of wanting to go outside anymore, like Michael Jackson, or criticized like Whitney Houston, or they fight silent battles like Prince. These are some of the greatest of all time. And one day they decided, you know what? I'd rather self-medicate and be in my own world. Minaj seems to be accounting for the scar tissue amassed around her relationship with the press. Should you keep on doing interviews and pouring out your heart so people can laugh? No. Okay, so I'm not even going to read the rest of this because it's a lot more, stuff. You can go ahead in your own leisure and read the rest of it. I mean, a month later, listen at this. A month later, Minaj has just returned to Los Angeles from New York, where she hosted the MTV Video Music Awards, and it still is stealing a few hours at home before heading back to the studio. The newly built house, modern and vast, which she bought last year, sits in a gated enclave in Hidden Hills. Papa Bear seems thrilled to be back. He is bouncing on the white sofa in the home theater or crawling through the hallway, and Minaj crawls after him, both of them laughing the whole way. She has little time at home these days, but a mini recording studio in the guest house helps. Minaj has become a better cook than she ever thought she could be, and she finds a kind of solace in making dinner for her family. Trinidadian stewed kingfish or spicy sausage pasta for the grown-ups, yellow rice for her son, who is for now repulsed by his mother's more highly seasoned dishes. Cooking actually makes me more calm, she says. Minaj is happier than she has been in the past, and she credits no magic pill or self-help book or guru, but simply a shift in perspective. When you look around and try to keep yourself in a grateful frame of mind, she explains, the things that you can be thankful for seem to start adding up, and you realize that in the big scheme of things, most of the stuff you would have complained about is so trivial. It's been a constant race. But then you stop and realize there's nothing to run around for. That's the thing that's changed in me. It's not that I've taken these amazing steps. It's just about finally being happy with who you are opposed to where you are. So this Vogue spread is more about, I think if you want my opinion about it, child, I think this Vogue spread is more about what she's trying to do in this spread is trying to humanize herself. She's trying to do similar, it's PR 101, She's trying to appease the people, appeal to mothers, appeal to everyday people that, are taking care of kids, cooking dinner, having a husband, having a family and stuff like that. And saying, she's found comfort in who she is. She's grown up. She's taken accountability. She's looked inside and all of these things. This is what she wants us to, because she's promoting this album. This is supposed to be growth, right? But yet on the internet, she's running around trolling Cardi B. She's getting into altercations with other people. She's, behind the sets at the damn awards. She's dousing the damn security guards. Her and Kenny, they're overseas beating up security guards when people don't do what it is that they, want them to do. But still and yet, in this Vogue spread, honey, she is Miss Retrospective. She's got it all together. She's admitting that, she's had the pill problem, once an addict, always an addict. She's saying all the right things, okay? This is all just to trend blogs and sell this record. Okay, the Nicki Minaj that we see, that ain't the Nicki Minaj that we see. Okay, now I'm looking at this and I really believe my stream, the stream health is really bad. You guys have to just bear with me. I'm trying to press through this video because I can see that I'm having issues with the just tonight is just one of those things, so if you catch the replay, please bear with me. This is not typically, I don't go through this, but hey, this is the internet. This is information superhighway, child. It's nothing I can do about it, so we just gonna press through and we gonna get through it because we don't have much to cover. this thing with Nicki Minaj, this is all about selling records. This is all about the album. This is promoting. We know that she had an issue with Percocets in the past. She said that. But what we want to know and what the people are saying, Nicki, they are saying this right here. This is what they're concerned. This is what they want to hear.
My drug of choice or my drugs of choice, just listen to my music, child.
I'm in Tokyo with the Kokio. No, I'm getting numb now. Don't let me come down. And that's some good dog.
Nicki Minaj.
My drug of choice or my drugs of choice, just listen to my music, child.
I'm in Tokyo with the Kokio. No, I'm getting numb now. Don't let me come down. And that's some good dog.
Nicki Minaj.
That's what the people is talking about, girl. The people is talking about that skiing down the slopes, okay? They said, you said you want to know what drugs I use, listen to my music, and then you refer to, numb and coke and, being numb and don't want to come down and you sniffing on that good coke and all that. So you said this in your songs, you say this in the lyrics, but you sue somebody. You sued a blogger because she said that you partake in substances and you rap about it. And now you just came out and said that you had an issue with Percocet. So I don't think that lawsuit is really probably going to go far. I mean, they can use this Vogue article. They can say, look, she literally just came out and said that she had a problem in the past. And that's all I was doing. When you proving defamation, you got to prove that when that person said this or whatever it is that they said, that they meant to lie on you. All this person got to say is, at the time I said this, I believed it to be true. I believed that she was on some type of substance because she rapped about it. And she said in a live, when people were asking her what she's on, to just listen to her lyrics, listen to her music. That's all they got to say. You see what they did to Young Thug and them? They're using lyrics now. They're using these rappers' songs to convict them and, in court cases and shit like that. So this particular blogger in person, I don't know if the lawsuit is still going on, but if it is, all she got to do is pull that song, that TikTok, article. All she got to do is pull the last time when the girl said that she was on, the perks. That's all she got to do, because even if she's saying, well, she said she was on coke. She didn't say she was on perks. And she talked about her. She thought that you were on drugs in the past. And whether it was coke or pills, it still was drugs. That's semantics. Tomato. You feel what I'm saying? That's not going to stand up in court, because that's all that she has to say. See, this is really lagging bad. This is lagging bad. So I'm going to wrap this up because this stream health is ridiculous. So, you guys, I really just briefly, wanted to come on and go through and give you guys my take on this whole thing. We all knew that Nicki Minaj had a drug problem. You want to pick that you was on perks, but you want to leave the other shit out. And then if you're saying that you're no good, no better than your dad, well, usually people that have parents that are addicts, a lot of times they take that gene. They grow up to be addicts. They grow up to have drug problems, because their parent, it can be passed down, in your DNA. So, let me get a couple comments, and then Nicki lied her ass off in this. We know that. Yep, she lied her ass off. We know she lied, pants on fire, hanging from Chicago. Why? Okay, honey. They said, honey, she pull up on the, who got her, what they got? Where's that? The people said, she said, they took us down, we didn't know what to do. Dun, 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 dun. She used to be, where's that? Come on, Kenny. Sure. When they had that picture that they posted, honey, and she had them flip-flops on, and that hair. And then Kenny, they looked like they was up for days. Child, I don't know what it was. John says, why they doing BBLs though? I don't give a fuck about none of that other. I don't, really, I think the BBL situation is a fad. It's just the thing to do. Like nowadays, everything is about teeth. When they get the money, they get the teeth, they get the good weave, and they get the BBL. That's the package. That's the Instagram model struggling rapper package, okay? The teeth, the new dentures, the good weave, the nails, the long 10-inch nails, the BBLs, okay? The Birkin bags, and front row seats at some type of Knicks game or a football game or something like that. That's the starter package, okay? That's what everybody get. They get the BBL, the teeth, the hair, the front row seats at a sports game, okay? Okay? That's what you got to get. The teeth is or braces, okay? You're either going to get the teeth done with the dentures or you're going to get the braces, okay? That's what everybody is doing. They either get I think they think it's cute. I'm telling you, some of these people get this shit because they think that shit is cute. They look at other people and be idolizing and lusting. Oh, she had them braces. I'm going to get me some braces. I ain't seen so many adults getting braces in my goddamn life. Back in the day, people got braces when they were kids, right? Once you started teenage, once your teeth was really done falling out and shit like that, and you got the braces. I ain't seen so many grown ass women, men getting braces. It's mostly the women getting these braces, wanting this look, okay? Everybody's going after this same superficial look. The fixer said, I think they do the teeth last. Nah, I think the teeth is first. Because, see, the teeth are cheap. Not cheap, but they're cheaper than the BBL. I think they get a little teeth. They get a little Cuban link, nails, that's showing that they getting it. Then maybe that they have a couple little bit more walkthroughs, maybe a little hit single or something. They do a couple shows. Then they go get the BBL because now they got a little bit more money. They travel out. Exactly. Tits, teeth, and tracks. Okay? That's the 3 T's. Tits, teeth, and tracks. I'm a steal that, Pascal. We're going to steal. I'll put that on a t-shirt. Tits, teeth, and tracks. Okay? The Instagram model starter package. The struggling rapper starter package. Okay? That's the starter kit. Okay? Yep, you got to get the titties. Got to get them too. Brenda says you can't forget those. But you notice a lot of these celebrities that were big components of BBLs, Kim Kardashian, Khloe, Black China, all these people, now they are getting the shit removed. After they have had all these women chasing behind the same look as them, trying to look like them, they idolizing these damn facial feminization when they don't need it. Black China had all that shit done like she was a drag queen and didn't need any of that shit. Now she had it all removed, but she'd had a generation of women, generation of thoughts following behind her ass trying to look like her. Now what these bitches going to do because they can't afford to get the shit out. Okay, you could just go on down, you get tired and say, you know what, I think I want to take this out. They don't have that luxury of just being able to go down to the good doctor and ask him to remove and fix and put this and I want to look soft, I want to look like myself. And no, they have ruined it. And especially those ones that done went down in the basement, honey. They done went down there in the basement and then had the cement and everything put in. Okay? They didn't have the around the way fillet put in. So they can't just go get that out. So they done led these women astray. They done did their job, honey. The devil done used them to do the job. And now everybody is all crazy and don't know their ass from their face. And now they all going off and getting back to their natural bodies and their natural selves. Because it's just so healthy. I don't need all of that. But you needed all of that when you were leading all these other women down the goddamn, followers. Everybody trying to look like, I don't see what they see in these BBLs. Now you got Ari and you got Jada Waiter and you got all these little influencer chicks and you got grown ass women. Look at Bernice. You got grown ass women following behind these Bernices and these, these women that are being passed around all through the industry with all the rappers and sports. And so Lori Harvey is the only one that ain't touched her body. Now, I don't know if she's got little silicone or nips and tucks, but she's the only one that hasn't did the BBLs. I don't know if she got titties. I don't know. But she just looks normal to me. Look like a normal body to me. You know what I'm saying? But these women, honey, they did all of this. Nicki Minaj, they looked up to her because she was one of the main ones, jumped out here with all this ass, and Wayne wanted her to look a certain way, so they paid for all this ass and titties, and they just kept pumping her ass up. They pumped her ass up so much to where as though she had to go and get it removed because she couldn't even perform no more. Okay, she was getting so fat and winded. Child, I don't know. I don't know why they need to enhance stuff that they already have, John. I really don't know. I don't know why black women why black women have allowed themselves to get caught up in this trend, because you already have the natural bodies. You have that look already. This is what these women, white women and, other, foreign, whatever Kim them is, Peruvian, whatever the hell, Greeks, I don't know what they are, but they try to look like us. Get the lip, the fillers and everything. You naturally have that. We naturally have that. But it's this look that they're all going for. It's just this particular look. The full lips, the baby hairs, the weave, the nails. It's just this look that they're all going for. I don't know where they put this look at, and everybody just goes and tries to get it. I'm like, where's this fucking look? Is it in? Where is it? Where's this look at, y'all? I know it's all on Instagram, but damn, is it a pamphlet? Is something somewhere? But yes, y'all, Nicki Minaj comes out, says she was addicted to Percocets. Now, in closing, I'm going to say, like I said earlier in the video, I was not trying to come at the child or come at her parenting skills or anything like that. But just in that article, they said that she was crawling around on the floor with him. Crawling around. He's 3 years old. He's still crawling around on the floor, acting like a baby. I'm like, all I see, he is a baby. He's a toddler. But it's giving delayed. I'm sorry. And I don't care who like it or don't like it. It is giving delayed, and I would think that she needs to get him some professional help. Instead of being embarrassed, instead of, I'm Nicki Minaj, everything is perfect in my life. It is clear. The writing is on the wall. Instead of being, worrying so much about whether your fans and people know whether you're a drug addict or not, should be focusing on your child. Developing a bond, a more closer bond, because with her traveling and with her being the breadwinner, Kenny always got that baby. He's always holding the baby while they at the shows or everywhere. My thing is, she doesn't seem like she has a really tight relationship with him. She plays, but I be seeing how she be like how she was trying to hold him down when they were doing the Instagram post or whatever. And he was just wild and didn't even want to sit still. I'm like, damn, he don't even look like he listened to her, because he don't spend no time with her. So I think she needs to focus more on that and, focus more on a relationship with her son, because it's obvious that she does not have one. And that's why I think she's a little tad bit jealous of Cardi B and her family, because it is a typical family with 2 children, a mom and a husband, and you can tell that they interact with their kids. They talk in sentences and full sentences. They got love. They have a connection and a bond with their two children and with Offset's kids. It just looks awkward and pushed and forced when we see Nicki Minaj with her son. Period. The fact that we don't even know what the baby name is. Do they have a name for the baby? Okay. If we calling him Papa Bear and everybody's knowing about Papa Bear, and we can't know his name. Why can't we know his name? It's giving, maybe if people start looking up his name, they're going to find that maybe he goes to some school or something that is for slow kids, or, you know, they might find out that he's autistic, or they might find something out. That's why she hiding the name of that baby, because we might find out the tea. We might find out the truth. You know how detectives y'all is. Y'all get to digging and looking around and might see him in a class photo, or see him and they say, oh, that's that school for oh, he in this class, or he's in this thing. That's why she don't want nobody to know his name. Okay? Period. All right, y'all, I'm going to go, okay, because like I said, I think this is just really lagging tonight. I just wanted to come through and talk a little bit about it, y'all. You catch the replay. Let me know what you think. Do you think that Nicki Minaj is still on the Percocets, or did she give them up? Is she clean now, you know? And she says she is, but once an addict, always an addict, right? Addicts say all the time that they clean, and they're not. You know, people struggle with addiction. I mean, it's sad to say, you know. She says she had a handle on it. Well, usually when you are a celebrity and you got access, it may seem like you got a handle, but it's because you got access. You're never going to run out of it. You're never going to, you know, they're not going to go through withdrawal, be sick, all that, because they ain't got the money to get it. You had the money to get it all the time. So when you were done with it and you're ready to be over with it, you could just be ready and be done and move on. It's sad that people out here in the real world, when they're on this shit and they ready to be done with it, they got to go to treatment. They got to really, you know, fight the demon, because they don't got no money to just go check into the best facilities. Most people got to deal with state insurance, so they go into the state funded places and stuff like that, and they in one moment and out the next, and right back in and out the next. They don't have that money to go to the Betty Ford and to go to, or even might have a private doctor come and help you detox from home and all that type of stuff. So it may seem different. Her addiction, it may seem different. It may seem like, you know, she had a handle of it and she was grounded and she was able to come up out of it. Yeah, when you got everything at your disposal, you can do that. You can do it. But I don't know. Yes, Nicki is pills and potions, Iris said. Okay. Yep, she be on it when she trolling Cardi. Mira said she be high as a kite. She be higher than Cuda Brown when she be out here trolling Cardi. That's what the people said, Nicki. Not me, okay? Not me, all right? So you guys, we're going to get up on out of here, okay? Like I said, and really quickly, when I do these videos, and when we're talking about anything, we're talking about the people that we're doing the videos about. We're not talking about my life. We're not talking about my child's life. We're not talking about anyone in the chat, y'all life. We are talking about Nicki Minaj. We are talking about her article in Vogue, and she wanted us to know that she had a pill addiction. Okay, so coming in my comments asking me anything personal about my kid or anything is out of line. It's none of your fucking business, because I'm not the one that put my information in Vogue. Nicki Minaj put her shit out there. If she didn't want nobody to talk about it, then she shouldn't have motherfucking said it. Okay? Y'all have a good night. Make sure you like this video, share the video, but most importantly, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. Bye.